Hello folks, welcome to Netcruzer RC. Alright, gotta do a quick little intro here because say goodbye to the Outcast 4S. I'm gonna head out and trade it in about 10-15 minutes, owned for less than a year, maybe 8 months, 6 months, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. I just did not like the short wheelbase and the super big tires, how stunty it was, even though that's what it's designed to do. Really good platform for someone who wants to do a lot of stunting and do a lot of crazy stuff, but I prefer the longer wheelbase vehicles that give you a bit more driving feel versus wanting to wheelie and backflip all the time. So this thing is pretty much box stock. I did leave the stock shocks on, and just as a quick little update on this, the 4S platforms, these shocks, these are the bigger plastic versions that came out on the Mega and then the 3S versions. They still leak. Not sure if there's a permanent fix for that. You could maybe try and like goop or seal the seals that are in there. So most of these shocks, oh, that one has a bit of oil in it, but this one I believe is completely empty. Other than that, the only weak part that I encountered on this truck was in the slipper assembly. The slipper has a little screw in it that you screw down the center, and it can snap if you're putting it on too tight. And just overall, there is a few little weak parts in the slipper assembly. I have snapped some of the outdrives on the slipper plate, so I'm on my old camera, it won't focus up close. If you land really hard on power, you can snap your slipper outdrives, so just be careful of that. Other than that, it's a really nice platform. Even though it's all plastic, there's really not that much to go wrong with it. It is very strong. And so that's the only thing I ever damaged was the slipper clutch assembly. I did break one turnbuckle, just on some weird crash, so I did order up a pack of turnbuckles, as well as, since the other thing that I do not like about the ARRMA 4S setup is the wheel nuts. These wheel nuts are an 8mm nut with a flange around it, and they're a pain to get on and off. I have had a few fly off on me. Luckily I found them every time, but if you lose one, it's not a standard type of a nut, so I did put in an order for extra wheel nuts, which came with some extra wheel hexes too. If you're looking for anything that's going to save you some money on some bulk items to service your trucks, check out Jenny's RC, because they are pretty good at that. I only ever had the one body. The body held up pretty good. There's no major cracks in it. It's this color that some people loved or hated. I will say that when it initially came out, I loved it, and then after you run it for a bit, it loses its pop versus the nice copper that it starts out at. Anyway, it's all aesthetics. And then the only other change that I made was I did change the dual EC5 connectors to Adines, just for convenience. And I am going to be selling this off or trading it away with a one 4S hard pack. The owner is going to get an ARRMA Outcast 4S, and I'll come back and show you what I got to replace it. Okay guys, I'm back from the trade deal, and it did go without a hitch. Very smooth operation, and I'm happy and he's happy, so let's show you what I got. I traded my Outcast 4S for this. An ARRMA Fazon 6S BLX with diff brain. I am pretty excited about this. These are pretty rare. They only were out for about a year or less because Traxxas killed them off because of the design of the chassis, because of, you know, it's just inboard shocks. That's really the big patent difference. There was some other stuff going on, but anyway, so Traxxas won that lawsuit, which means that this is no longer available to be sold in North America or Europe. As far as I know, they certainly cannot be sold in North America anymore. And yeah, a very unique chassis. This is an ARRMA that is like no other. If you guys think that all our new stuff is basically a tweak of the same, this is by far the most engineered ARRMA I've ever seen, and it's unfortunate that they had to remove it from the market. So you got two battery trays on either side, and it's got a BLX 200 ESC. Runs on 6S LiPo. Now I did get batteries included. I got two 5400 milliamp hour 3S LiPos. It's a pretty big motor in here. Let me bring the camera in closer so we can get a better look at it. So now obviously it is used and dirty. It just needs a bit of a cleaning. And I did just power it on just to make sure it is okay, but that's really all I've done with it. I did not drive it. I had him send me a little clip of a video to make sure that it could turn and operate, and I did the same for him, so that's really all I needed to do. And yeah, these are pretty neat. So that's how you get the battery out, I guess. Oh, it flips out through the bottom. Looks like he's got some foam padding in here. Anyway, I'll leave those in because I do want to just power it on to test it, but I do want to also check like the balance and the storage charge of the batteries later on. But overall, the chassis seems to be in pretty good condition. It's just dirty. Arms and stuff all look pretty good. Turnbuckles. It does have these tube style axles, which I forgot about. So they are telescoping tube style. They are aluminum, but yeah, they're different from any other ARRMA axle. So the concern about this vehicle, and the reason why he traded it, is because it's going to become increasingly difficult to get parts for. For me, I'm okay with that because I run an RC YouTube channel and I'm kind of really into ARRMA lately, and this is a pretty rare one that I've wanted to have in the fleet. So this is my first Nero platform RC, and I'm pretty excited to have it. Looks like it's got a little bit of damage to that body post there, but overall, like, its tuning is, well, it's stiff, but this is also the Fazon, so I think it was tuned stiffer out the box for the Fazon, because this one was meant to be the high-speed racer. This is a really thick body shell. Holy cow. That is some of the thickest Lexan I've ever seen. That's almost like the indestructible style. Looks like he was doing some sort of weird repairs, or maybe he had lights, scrapes, and then lights. Maybe for a GPS or something. Pretty cool. So not only did I get the RC, I also got a bunch of extra stuff with it. Man, who got the better deal here? I mean, he wanted a new current model, and I was certainly willing to make this trade. It was all just a straight trade. I gave him an Outcast 4S, he gave me a Fazon 6S. Runs on the Tactic TTX 300, but it's the special one that has the diff brain controls. So you can lock all diffs, you can lock center, rear, center, or all open. I do wish more vehicles had that, especially for in cold weather. Being able to lock the diffs makes a massive difference of being able to get out of snowbanks. And then we got a bunch of tires and tools. So these ones look to be the nicest ones. These are kind of street runner style. They all look to be in pretty good condition. So yeah, I got a set of those. I think all the hexes look okay. Wow, yeah, the full set of those is awesome. That is excellent. Love that. And then the stalkers. And yeah, blowouts on the stalkers. So they're pretty much garbage. I think there's another one that's all, yeah. Total blowouts on the stalkers. You know why this happens? Is because people run them in the wet and they do not put holes in their tires. This is what happens when you don't put holes in your tires and you run through the wet. It just, all of the moisture tries to fling out and there's no place to go and it'll rip them open. So that's where I almost wish these high-powered bashers all would come with the tires pre-holed so it would fling out moisture. Even this one, he sealed them. I noticed right away that these ones are not vented. They've been completely sealed. That almost never works. If you're trying to keep water out, that never works. What you want to do is just poke holes in the tire to let it fling the water out as it accumulates. Because if you don't, water gets in, and then you start doing some high-speed maneuvers, and then boom, there goes your tire. So yeah, those are junk. But the rims are still good, although getting them unglued and putting new tires on, I will likely never do, just because that's a lot of effort. But I think 2 out of the, oh, he looks like he had them, he tried to stop them from ballooning, tie them. This one you can feel is waterlogged. It's very heavy. So that's what happened. Also, I got snow chains. So I got a full set of snow chains. And then we got the book. And it looks like I got some spare parts here. Is this that body mount that's broken? It's pretty cool. And then got some spare parts, some extra body mounts. Hey, the speed pinion is still here. So he did say that it's always been on stock gearing all its life. He felt like that was fast enough. And this bottom plate, I don't really know what that was for. It lets a bit more airflow in or something for cooling. And then the XT90s. And then the manual. And the retail box. So I'm pretty stoked to have a Fazon retail box as well. I know a lot of people don't care about this stuff, but for most of my RCs, I keep the boxes. I don't know why. It's kind of a waste of space, but yeah, it's cool to have. Fazon 6S BLX with diff brain, tactic control. Pretty awesome stuff. Really cool looking chassis on this thing. Extremely unique. The amount of research and development that ARRMA must have put into this thing would have been immense. Look at this chassis. Look how it's designed. It's crazy. Large diameter anodized aluminum slider drive shafts. Easy access battery cells. Pretty cool. All right, let's power it up and make sure it works. You added some speed holes. Weird airflow. Or maybe they were lights. It seems like based on the glue residue that's on the inside of the body that he did try to add lights at one point. Okay, let's power this guy up. He did say that he left the battery fully charged. Transmitter has power, XT90. Also, there's a cap pack on the crossover. This is a more powerful ESC than you get in even the current 6S BLX vehicles. This is the ARRMA BLX 200. 6 amp Beck, 3 to 6S LiPo. Okay, powering on. That is a good sign. Now it only gave me 2 chirps. That's kind of weird. I wonder how badly damaged the batteries are. ESC fan is spinning. That's a good sign. Steering servo. Seems to be a little bit of low throw, but I can work on the endpoints. We gotta make sure that it actually drives. Woo. Yeah. I'm not gonna go full throttle because look at. It came with these wheels that are on it as well, but they also need to be vented badly because look at the. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that wobble, but it's wobbling pretty bad. So, mostly the tuning here seems to be just get the moisture of the tires and try and balance the tires out a little bit more, because yeah, these are feeling pretty rough. And a good cleaning. So, let's try the diff brain stuff. Right now it's on full diff unlock. So if I hold one side, it diffs out on the other, right? Okay, so that's open diff, and now I'm going to lock. Right now I have front and center locked. This front should now be locked. That does not seem to be working. I'm going to lock them all. Okay, rear diff. Front diff lock is broken. Rear diff lock is working. So if I try and hold one, ow, it won't let me. Okay, so rear diff lock works. Center, I'm not sure how to test. It's going to rip apart my bench if I try and do that. And then front needs some work. So they are servo actuated. I'm not familiar with how it's designed, but right now I'm just going to unlock all of them. And then this should be unlocked again now. There you go. And now it's unlocked. So rear diff lock is working. Awesome. Yeah, so in my opinion, that was a pretty epic trade. I was ready for a change. That Outcast 4S wasn't really doing it for me. And this is a pretty rare RC that I had wanted when they first came out, but I wasn't really willing to put the money into them when they were new and like almost $1,000 when they first came out in Canada anyway. They were quite expensive, over $800, maybe $900, but they were up there. And I also, at the time, I felt like I don't want a car that uses dual batteries again, because that is a bit of a pain to have a chassis that only works on dual batteries, because you always have to have 2 charged up and 2 balanced, and if one drops a cell, then you've got a problem. But anyway, now I've got so many cars, I just wanted to have a unique one like this. Super cool. So I got a Fazon 6S now, so it just needs a bit of a cleanup. I'll look into how to service those diffs and get it working a bit better. And yeah, pretty awesome. Look at how the arms work. It's a double pillow ball on the rear, and then the single traditional like 8-scale ARRMA setup on the front. So this is like a sideways bottom, and then what's on the top? Oh, it's a triple. It's a triple pillow ball rear suspension on the outside hub. Whoa, that is unique. I don't remember seeing that when I was looking at these before. It's just full of dirt. Like the axles are all red, but these back ones are caked in mud that's turned to cement. So it just needs a good cleaning. I mean, it's winter. It probably will not get cleaned. You know what's probably going to end up cleaning? It's just running it in the snow, and then I'll blast it off after. But I am pretty happy with this purchase. Even though no money exchanged hands, that was a good trade. To who I traded to, if you're watching this video, I hope you're happy with the Outcast 4S. It is a good truck, and I will hopefully have a lot of fun with this guy. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching. I think you got some paint overspray on this tire here. This is like a red residue. That's weird. I've also never seen these before. What are these? These are no-name tires. I don't know what these are from. If you know what these tires are from, leave a comment down below. They might be like China no-names or something, but they seem okay. They just need to be vented. Man, she's crusty, but it's just dirt. Seems to run well. Let's get the batteries out, see what that looks like. And this is that center plate thing I was talking about. You can change this with the other one that comes in the kit, although I don't really understand why. I found an upgrade. Check it out. We've got a Savox servo. We've got a non-standard servo in here. This is a Savox 0231 Metal Gear servo. We'll have to look up the stats on that. And it's blue case, so it's waterproof as well. I was just opening up the hatches to try and get the battery out. I guess you push them from the top? This is really weird. How are you supposed to get these out of here? Okay. You know what? For an Onyx battery, they're not even puffed. Throw a checker on those and see what that's like. I can see that being a little bit of a pain in the cold, but this one looks to be, well, even that one is feels good. Okay, let's put some cell checkers on them and see what these are like. I gave him one Gens Ace 5000 milliamp hour hard case LiPo, and he gave me two 3S 5400 milliamp hour XT90s. And I've never seen Energizer Industrial AA's before, have you? But that's what's in it. Pretty cool. Okay, the other one's at 414, 416, 417. Again, fully charged, and that within like a couple hundred millivolts is no big deal. It's when you get them down to where you've got like one at 4 volts and one at 420 and one at 3.8, that's when things are way out of whack. These are all pretty well balanced and fully charged. And they're not puffy, which is awesome. So yeah, I'll throw a storage charge on these, or actually what I should do is just run the truck. I mean, yeah, maybe I'll go take it for a blast tomorrow.